I am on Lac aux Sables doing the Bark Lake Loop, and it's 5 o'clock. I finished my last week-long trip a few hours ago, and now I gotta boot it up some lakes. I'm trying to get into Big Trout Lake, which is a ways up, and it's already 5 o'clock. Alright, I'm leaving Lac aux Sables behind, and I'm into the river section now. This river is gorgeous, full of minnows too. There are lots of moose prints in the water, and it looks like a perfect place here for moose and wildlife in general. There actually is a fair bit of current now. The further you get upstream, the more current there is. Had I known, I probably would have done this way on the way back. So I am waiting now. Still waiting, but at least I've made it to the logging road. These pants needed a wash anyway. Just about to get into Little Trout Lake, and I can camp here, but I still have a good hour of daylight. So I'm gonna risk it. So, the one campsite marked on Big Trout Lake is it's not a campsite. It's a cliff. Based on where I lined it up. Oh, maybe. Yes. Oh, yes, yes. Somewhere half decently flat to put down a tent. So it's dark basically, and I'm on this huge lake. I don't know where anything is, and if this hadn't worked out, I'd be paddling around this huge lake. Feel much better. There's somewhere to put down the tent. It's not great. This is me. Just finished. And I'm kinda in the trees, but it is flat enough. Got my stuff on this tree, filtering water. I'm really super thirsty right now. I also have some water purifying with a tablet in my water bottle for quicker use. Woo-hoo-hoo! Water time! It's purified, baby. The good stuff. It's almost 6:30, and I'm having my first look at camp. First good look. Big Trout is a beautiful lake. It's really pristine here. It's much more wild, this route so far, than I was expecting. I was reeling in what I thought was a snag. It's a little yellow perch. I didn't know they had perch in here. The ministry only lists lake trout for this lake. Ow, ow, ow. Sorry, buddy. It's afternoon now, and I can't remember exactly when the solar eclipse was supposed to happen, but I thought it was close to now. And I don't want to miss it, but I keep trying to look at the sun, and I'm going to go blind. This is one of the best campsites I've ever seen. Great tent pad there. Outstanding view. Well elevated. It's up a little cliff, but just like a perfect gradient to walk up. Couple of big pines here. Nice big fire pit. Water access is the only thing that's not great because there's just no easy place to slide up the canoe, but you can easily pick it up and put it on top of those smaller rocks there. But the coolest part by far is this jumping rock. It's easy to jump off. You know, it's not like a bad incline. You don't have to push out far to make it past other rocks or shrubs or trees, and the water below there is deep. So that is super cool. Okay, that was the warm-up. Now time for the big one. Goodbye. This is it for me. I won't survive. Yeah! This site is just amazing. Hello! Alright, here it is, the ultimate three-way swivel rig. Got my 30-pound braid to 20-pound fluoro with a double uni. That is connected to the three-way swivel with a snap in case I just want to fish normally with this rod again. Something I've always disliked about the three-way swivel rig in the backcountry is I don't like setting up elaborate rigs when I only have two rods. I like to be able to cast with both of them if I need to. So for the same reason, I've got a snap leading to the sinkers. I wish I had a clean 2 ounce, but I just have two 1 ounce. Also with a snap so I can take off an ounce if I want to. And on the back end, 20-pound fluoro leading to this. Ball bearing swivel to a snap, leader, spinning blades on it, Colorado blades, to the spoon. Don't know about the super rig. When I reeled it in, it was all tangled up like that. And sometimes you can troll for a while without knowing, so it's a real waste. Fish on, super rig, head shakes, some weight, trying to keep a good bend in the rod. Keep this thing pinned because there's some weight there. Oh yeah, probably 4. Nice, it's a nice trout. Beautiful colors. Here it is. Nice trout. Well, the battery died there. Luckily, I just got him up in time for a shot. Just switched the battery. And yeah, I put the net in the water, allowed him to unravel in there, pop the hook out, and he shot down. That was fun. Now I just need to get one 4 times as big. Super rig comes through. Super rig, does whatever a super rig does. Catches trout anytime. I don't know any words, I never watched Spider-Man. As if this lake wasn't already too perfect, there are a couple of kind of gravelly but mostly sandy beaches, beautiful, pristine. Water is pretty chilly, but refreshing because it's hot. I kind of feel like I can see the moon poking into the sun, but it's so hard to see. I'm wearing a towel on my head because I forgot my hat in my tent. No, I do not think I'm cool. I'm just protecting my head from damaging ultraviolet rays. Can you believe this? There are nails, rusty nails in there. A long thing of steel wire. Lots of beer cans, as usual. Lots of Bud Light cans. I don't know what it is about Bud Light drinkers. I have my theories, but they are frequently the can that I find in the backcountry. This big metal pot, and this one's actually pretty funny. Huge bottle of baby duck. That's a first. I've never seen that in the backcountry. And I used my big pliers for deeply hooked pike to grab most of this out of the water. A, because it's more fun. It's kind of like that big handheld claw you used to have as a kid. B, I didn't want to risk getting cut or tetanus. And C, most importantly, just in case whatever those people had is contagious, I just want to make sure I don't become a pathetic loser dirtbag. Alright, put a couple hours of cleaning and organizing into the campsite, and it's looking a lot better. We got the garbage down there. Re-established some trails around camp that were kind of overgrown and just covered in deadfall, and all that deadfall is piled up here so I can have a nice bonfire tonight, cook dinner. Piled up some birch bark that was just scattered all around. It looks kind of junky. As much as I love birch bark, when it's everywhere it doesn't look that good. This is nice. Super nice. Fish on. Probably small. Definitely trout. Oh, those head shakes. Those crazy trout head shakes. There he goes. He's off. Waking up to pouring rain, which is fine. That was forecasted. I dodged the rain yesterday somehow. Had a great day. Be a good rest day. I could use it. I'm back out looking for an eater for dinner, but sometimes it looks like that behind you, and then other times it looks like that. And sometimes it starts spitting, and the wind randomly gusts. So it's really hard to say what's gonna happen right now with the weather. All I want is one eater and I'll go in. That's all I'm asking for. The wind is really nasty out there. It's swirling all around, probably up to about 30 kilometers an hour. So I gave up on getting trout for dinner. Just gonna make some instant potatoes. Nice sunset coming on. I could see it hitting the far cliffs. They were all rosy red. So I had to get out in the canoe and get a view. About 7:30, been on the water for about 15 minutes. The wind is pretty strong, but luckily it's hitting me port side right now. But this is the easy part. I'm heading north on Big Trout Lake. As soon as I turn west to complete the rest of my travel today, I'll be paddling straight into it, and it is it's gonna be bad. Got pretty shallow, so I'm just wading it now. It's easier. Okay, so I'm at the official first portage on that inset there, which is enlarged here, the 100 meter. Come to this section here, and then you get out in the mud, and then nice looking portage through here. So I'm following that portage, and it goes along the river, and it looks like all of it could have been waded, which I would have preferred to have done. But then it's confusing because there's a marker, and there's a kind of a put in takeout that looks like it's been used a bit. But the portage also continues, so I don't know where I am exactly. But I guess I'll just keep walking on this portage. The trail past that yellow marker is a lot more overgrown. Still reasonable. Like here it's pretty good. But not nearly as clear as the portage leading up to that point. So I think people know something I don't know. Maybe at the yellow point you can actually put in again. And I've portaged too far, but oh well. It's not terribly far. Maybe 300 meters in total from that first mucky put out, takeout. Tons of minnows in the river again. There are some bony little swifts here, and I think that might be a portage over there. but I don't see any tape or anything like that. So now this portage ends. I have to put in and then take out again like 50 meters later, when all along I could have just kept paddling and lifted over a minuscule beaver dam there. These portages are making no sense to me today, but at least I get to benefit from these learnings on the way back. And another silver lining, some blueberries that still look good. I'm on Long Lake now, and I had to check out the campsite on the east end just for future reference. Some good tent pads. It's a nice site. At least 2, maybe even 3 good tent pads. And a good fire pit. Actually 2 fire pits. There's another one here, just in case you want to have back-to-back fires. And pretty good water access. Good site. Fish on, seconds within starting to troll on Long Lake. And my net is full of gears, so I'm not going to be able to net this guy. At first it felt solid. Just hit really hard. I can see it now. Oh, it's such a nice eater. It's not the time though. See if I can scoop it up for a shot. Whoa! Oh, he's off. Oh, that's good. I should probably get my net sorted out. That's one of my rules, is don't start fishing until the net is ready to go. Because you lose fish like that when it's not ready. And if you get a trophy, all the more likely you'll lose it because it's that much more powerful. Especially when it's at the boat and you're not necessarily torquing on it anymore. It's just kind of there. Anyway, that's cool. That was literally seconds into fishing. The guys at the launch said there were some good numbers in here. Yes, there are. Another one. Maybe 2 minutes later. Doesn't feel too big again. The last one was probably 2.5, maybe 3 pounds. He's thrashing down there. I can feel it. Like lake trout do. Ah, I love this fish. My favorite fish to eat, and my favorite fish to catch and battle. Actually, there is some weight there. He's staying down. Oh, he's thrashing. Still can't see him. There he is. Oh. That was pretty long, actually. Nice fish. Oh yeah, oh, watch the net job. He's still on. He thrashed right as I tried to net him. And I got the side of his body. That's not where you want to net a fish. I rimmed him. Oh yeah. Nice fish. Pretty similar to the larger one that I caught on big trout. So probably 4 pounds. Come on, I'm gonna let you go, buddy. Just come here. There we go. There we go. Oh, so colorful. What a gorgeous fish. Okay, get this out quick. Hooked right in the corner of the mouth. Perfect. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, okay, come here. Oh yeah. Oh, what a beautiful fish. Oh. Oh no. Ah, okay, go, go, go. The color on that, his belly was golden with a bit of some red. That's fun. I'm gonna keep trolling. There are definitely some numbers in this lake, because that's 2 fish in minutes. I'm almost through Boumage Lake now, and on my map it's marked that around this section there's some old growth pine, and I'm starting to see that here. Just ran into a couple of other campers. Holy cow. Wow, that's a pine tree. Wow. That is really huge. Anyway, they said that they were clearing the route a bit and flagging it, and that their map, which was the Chrismar map, had lots of misleading information as well. They found a lot of the same things with the portages in between Long Lake and Big Trout. So that was nice and reassuring to know that I wasn't just an idiot. It's good to talk to them. Good guys who are helping keep this route clear. Don't mean to be gross, but it's kind of interesting. I guess that's a mink? I'm not completely sure. So now on to the 1189, and the guys who I ran into on the portage, they also recommended an island site right around here, which is really perfect. That's exactly where I want to camp, and they said it was excellent. So hopefully, despite the wind, which they said was also blowing west on that lake, on Bark Lake, hopefully I can make it there today. I think it's around 2 p.m. now, 2 or 3. So I'm gonna hustle over there. I'm at the narrows that are taking me into the upper half of Bark Lake, not to be mistaken with Upper Bark Lake, which is even further north. But I am really looking forward to making camp. It's been a long day and dreary, drizzly, exhausting. So I want to make a good meal. Really, just saying that, I'm really excited for it. And filter some water, get into some dry clothes. I have probably 4 kilometers left, I hope. The wind has picked back up ever since I got past the narrows and turned more westerly. Now the wind is much more in my face. So I really can't wait to get to camp. About 2 more kilometers, but that might take an hour at this rate. The guys from the first portage told me about a little island site out in this area. And I hope this is it. I'm a couple 100 meters away from one. And I hope this is it, because if it's not, this is a really bad time to be paddling all around. Just nasty. Alright, I'm in business. Made camp. Chores are done. Rinsed out my socks and shoes, and they're drying there, hopefully. Or just getting more wet, depending on how much it rains. Pretty good tent pad. Clean water filtering. Some good soul left a great pile of sticks there, so I can get dinner on quickly, which is really appreciated right now. Decent fire pit, but some garbage in there. I don't know why someone would leave the lemon for the next person to burn. It's kind of a hard thing to burn. I can understand the granola bar box, but yeah, well. I'm not gonna rant this time. Water access is pretty bad on all the sites on this route I have found. It's going to be hard to find anywhere to haul the canoe out at night, which I like to do because I don't like it banging up against the rocks all night. Not only is it not good for the canoe, but it's just kind of a constant disturbance. Anyway, there's a great view, and right out there is the deepest basin on Bark Lake. That's awesome. Should get into some Lakers tomorrow, maybe pike. Maybe even tonight if the weather cooperates, but I do not want to get back in the canoe with that wind. I'm leeward here, which is super nice. It feels so nice to be out of the wind. But out there, it's not nice. So I'm going to make some pizza. I've still got some red wine left. And that all sounds amazing right now. Got some extra clothes on. I'm feeling good. The other day I was saying how I'm more of a utilitarian than a foodie. And this meal kind of epitomizes that. The pita bread that I was going to use for, I can't talk, I'm quite tired. The pita bread that I was going to use for the pizza It was broken up into tons of pieces. So I just broke it up even further and made like kind of nachos, scrambled pizza, whatever you want to call it. But it's good. Why wouldn't it be? It's cheese and bacon and bread. This is one of the nicest fires I've had all summer. Most enjoyable fires anyway. I actually need it right now. Well, more than usual. Because I'm cold from the weather today. And it just feels really good. Sometimes in the summer, you're just having fires for, I don't know, it's kind of obligatory. And you're not even comfortable. It's too hot. You're sweating basically if you're anywhere near the fire. But this feels so good. I've got a few layers on now and warming up. So it's really nice. Combined with some vino, I'll be warm in no time. Today was not supposed to be this nasty. There's a 20% chance of rain and it spat most of the day. The wind was what made it worse though. The one thing I can't fix right now though is my shoe situation. Shoes are wet. I don't have any dry shoes. I'm just wearing my wet shoes. And they're still damp and cold, so my feet are cold. And I really hate that. I hate not having any dry shoes to put my feet in. It's such a discomfort for me. They look kind of purple to me. Not their normal color. So I'm gonna fire them up. Oh, oh, that feels amazing. Oh, that's so nice. Soak it up, boys. You've earned it. You've earned it. Really, they've earned like a pedicure. But who needs one? I've been walking, I've had sand in my shoes all day. My feet are smooth. Nor would I want a real pedicure. Not interested. Oh, that's so good. Got a grouse. These things always scare the crap out of me when they start flying. Their little wings make this thunderous noise that creeps me out at first. Who needs an axe? That smell of freshly cut or smashed conifers just puts me at ease. I wish I could bottle that smell up. Obviously, car freshener and stuff like that, they do not cut it. No. Not even close. If I could find that smell and make my home smell like it, I would do that for sure. Not the most pleasant of mornings right now. It's pretty cold. I had a very bad sleep. Mostly from just bad lower back pain, I think. And I had to put my feet into my wet sandals. And I discovered that my feet are all cut up, you know, kind of like blisters, but cuts from wearing sandals too long on the portages. Despite that these are good sandals, any sandal is gonna cause some blistering and such, at least when you're breaking them in. So now I'm wearing them with little ankle socks. It's a fashion faux pas, so I'm highly embarrassed. But I've got apple strudel and chocolatines, and if the sun comes out today, that would be so great to dry everything out, especially my shoes, hopefully. And then I can lie in the hammock and take a nap, which just sounds so nice right now. Not even thinking about fishing yet. Well, when you wake up cold and tired in the backcountry, there's nothing like making coffee on the fire. It's 9:45 and there is sunshine. Feels good. I'm at the north end of Bark Lake, where the Mississauga River reconstitutes itself as a watercourse. It runs right through Bark Lake. So there's a swift here, and I'm going to toss my line in here and see if I can get lunch. I'm trying to do it from shore, so if there are any brookies in there, I don't spook them by taking the canoe over them. Surprisingly no fish, but really beautiful spot. That's the Mississauga River behind me, and the Swift here, and then the Bark Lake after that. And just looking down that corridor there, I know I'm gonna come back here to do this. I'm gonna paddle the Mississauga someday. I already wanted to because I've driven past parts of it, and it looks absolutely stunning. Connect that with Bark Lake, that would be a really sweet trip. Maybe a spring trip, and then in Bark Lake you could try and go for some big pike and big trout in the shallows. That'd be a blast. At times like these, my sense of wanderlust is trying to grab the steering wheel and take me kilometers down that way into lands unknown. And I have to rely on my brain at these times to, keep a firm grasp on the steering wheel, because I don't want to make today a long day. Still recovering from yesterday, and I've already paddled quite a bit today. But yeah, as long as I am breathing and physically able, I'm going back there someday. That's a promise to myself. This might be my favorite site on Bark Lake that I've seen so far. Great water access there. Good jumping rock here and swimming. Drops off pretty quickly. And it's just a nice, small, cozy site. I thought that was a motorboat coming around the corner. There's a little fly-in lodge there. Big fish on. The rod absolutely doubled back on this guy. Oh boy, this is huge. This is huge. It's got to be a lake trout, because yeah, it's a lake trout. Oh man, it's big. I just couldn't see it. Like, I got a little look at it, just like a little reflection off the sun. Oh my. Wow, I thought I snagged. The rod absolutely crushed backwards. Oh man. Can't lose this. This is the most important fish of the trip, maybe this summer. Oh my. Oh man, my heart can't take this. Oh, no. Oh boy. I am genuinely terrified to lose this fish. Oh, my wrist is killing from paddling so much yesterday. There's not a lot of strength in it. No. Oh, I thought I felt the weight fall off there for a second. Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely lake trout. Spat bubbles when it got close to the boat. And pike don't fight like this. It's close. Oh no. Oh, it is a pike. It's a monster. It is a pike. It's absolutely huge. I was thinking this section of the lake wasn't deep enough for lake trout. Oh my goodness. This is the hardest fighting pike ever. This is probably the biggest pike I've ever caught. If I catch it. Oh God. Please, please. And now that it's pike, I have to be worried about teeth. Oh my. Oh no. No. No, it's not well hooked. It's not well hooked. Oh no. It looks like it's gonna thrash in the air. It is. I'm gonna lose it if it does it. Oh man, it's right over here. Oh, it's huge. Please come in. I don't want to exhaust it either. I'm trying to get it in, but it's huge. Okay, here's a chance. Yes! Yes! Okay, it's not my biggest pike. I was wrong, but it is. It might be the heaviest. It's thick. Okay, I'm gonna get it unbuttoned here. Wow, I thought my battery just died there, but I wasn't recording and it went to sleep. I thought it was recording. Anyway, I was just saying that this fish is 15 pounds. Oh my, yes. Yes, what a giant. Oh. Keep her in the net, keep her head in the water. That's a girl. The big ones like this are female. Wow. Oh. Oh. That is 18 pounds minus a bit for the net. That's my biggest pike by weight. Wow. Oh, thank you. I need to let it go, but wow. That's awesome. Okay, I'm gonna let her go. All right, she's in the water. Gills are flapping. Should just be a matter of time. Oh, thank you. Beautiful, beautiful creature. There we go. Just like that. There we go. Woohoo! What did I say at the start of this trip? I've been due for a trophy. Oh, I didn't get a length on it. That was silly. It was low 40s though. Maybe 41, 42. And the heaviest pike of my life. Wow. Cloud 9. I'm covered in pike slime. And the boat is too. And I couldn't care less. It's wonderful. I'm pleased to be covered in slime right now. Even my arm kind of dripped down my arm. I'm gonna smell it later to remember this moment. That fish was caught on that spoon I've been trolling most of the trip. 2 ounces of lead on the 3-way swivel. And there it is. The lure that I will remember fondly for a while. Anchored here around where I caught that pike, near where the Mississauga enters Bark Lake, and I'm casting a lure for the first time. It's called like the Storm, made by Storm. It's called the 360 or something like that, I don't know. But it is a really nicely designed bait. It's even got a small rattle in there. And just great size, real sharp hook. Nice wobbly paddle tail. I'm excited to try this one out. Reeling in for the last time today. Still nothing else. No eaters. No bites, no follows. But I've got the hammock set up waiting for me. So I'm going to make some dinner and then watch the sunset in the hammock. So it's all good. Dinner's done, dishes are done. Some nice driftwood is processed for a bonfire tonight because it doesn't get any clearer than this, so I'm going to stay up for some stargazing. And my shoes are dry from yesterday, which is so fantastic. Such a good feeling to have these on again. Everything else is just getting bone dry. Not that it's really wet, but just getting everything super dry to pack up tomorrow. And now that everything's done, it's hammock time. Oh, yeah. I just love this hammock. There's nothing like lying here when you're really pooched. Cheers. Oh, that was a big sip. Sun is dropping like a rock over there, and so is the temperature. I went from 1 layer to now 4 layers, and I'm barely warm enough. So it's going to be a chilly night. And of course it's like glass right now after battling a stiff wind, a stiff breeze at least all day. And there are some fish breaching the surface. It's so calm it's easy to hear them and see them. But that's all to be expected. It is the evening. Wonderful being in the hammock right now. It's 6:30 and it's really cold this morning. I could just stay warm last night. And it was another terrible sleep, so that's 3 in a row. So my brain isn't going to be ticking today. Alright, camp is packed up, I'm on the water. Docking is hard this morning, not enough sleep. Had some good stargazing last night, saw a few shooting stars. There was a barred owl hooting in the middle of the night. I know because I was awake for so much of it. And it is hard to tell where I'm going right now. I thought I could follow this shoreline. I don't think so. Oh, I know. Well, I think I know. I hope so. My wrist, my right wrist especially, is still killing from 2 days ago. It has little strength. And over the next day and a half, I've got to get myself all the way back out of here. Now I'm in the narrows. Beautiful paddling through here. Oh, there it goes. If someone wanted to do this route up to Boumage and didn't want to portage the 1189, it would be worth walking just as a trail for the pines here. There are big ones all over the place. That's a pretty big one. Same with this white pine. This red pine is massive. White pine, white pine, white pine, white pine. Tons of them. More here. And the trail is pretty good mostly. On the left is a really big white pine. Really, really big. I'm on to Boumage Lake now, and that means the worst of the portages are behind me, but I am really tired. Mentally, when I try to think about something hard, it's like trying to start a train uphill. And physically, my upper body has not recovered at all from 2 days ago when I came in this way. Especially after all the paddling I did yesterday, so I feel pretty tired. So if I catch a trout here on Boumage, I'm going to take a break and cook it up. Same thing on Long Lake. Fish on Boumage. Feels like probably a good eater fish. Whoa! Didn't have any give on the drag. And it got stopped up at one point, and because of that, I didn't react. These are things you forget to do when you're tired. I've got probably a 30+ pound lake trout on. Just kidding, it's a snag. I'm going to portage into Long Lake, and then I'm gonna catch a trout, and I'm gonna eat it, and then nap in the hammock, and I'm gonna camp there. I'm not gonna go to big trout tonight. Don't have it in me. I don't want to pull it out of me anyway. I'm getting delirious. Of course, on my way, portage is right there. I'm like a minute away from it. I take one last cast and then obligatorily troll it with me, and it's a fish. It's probably an eater. Doesn't feel that big. Yeah, that'd be a pretty nice eater. I think I'm just gonna let him shake it. I'd actually, normally this would be a perfect eater. Today I'd like something even a bit bigger. The forceps, get the jaws of life. No, doesn't like the sight of that. Whoa! All right, buddy. Cool. I can get another one on Long Lake. I'm confident in that based on the way in. And there I shall camp on Long Lake, and got into an eater within a few casts. It's perfect. Alright, got this beautiful trout dispatched. It's about 2.5 pounds, which is super for one person, and it looks meaty too. And I just pulled up on shore here so I could dispatch it as quickly as possible. And there's a ton of driftwood. I'm going to pick up a bunch because camp is just over down that way. And then I can get a good fire going, lickety split, to cook this fish up. Got a ton of nutrients and meat out of that fish. This is a fish well used. Got behind the gills there. A lot of people leave that. Got the belly. This is scraped to the bone, as is the other side. That's bony in there. And it also had eggs in it. It's a nice female, getting ready to spawn in fall. And I'll definitely eat as many of those as I can. They're super rich in nutrients, so worth eating. These are little scraps off the carcass, also worth eating, and this is the belly meat. And anyone who leaves the belly is just wasting. Good way of cleaning up the paddle after take the fillets off the skin is using just pine needle brush. Gets it off really well because it's kind of sticky. These make a good abrasive scrub pad. On my way back to camp, and the front of the canoe is full of firewood, so this thing's going to be cooking in no time. That's going to be so good. It wasn't a terrific spot to cook on, but just put that little rock in there, and it's bouncing pretty flat against that other rock, so it worked out. Sneaking a first bite. Always do. It's done. Oh man, it's so good. Look at that. That's only the first batch too. More coming. And I'm gonna save some of it for dinner. I've got some what do you call it? I can't think yet. Shrimp flavored ramen. I'm gonna add some of this to that. Cook it up now. It's a little bit more food safety approved than cooking it later. But I'll eat it in like a couple hours. Late lunch and an early dinner. Look at that. That's just unreal. Life is too good. Bony, flaky, fresh, hot, and absolutely delicious. My favorite fish to eat. So good. This is my first fish meal, or meat meal, in 5 days, unless you include bacon bits. And I was so ravenous to eat it that I forgot this fork was stirring around all the raw stuff, but it's fish, it's not like chicken or anything, so it's not that big of a deal. But then I went over to the fire, poked it in the fire for, I don't know, 5 seconds to hopefully cleanse it, and then I came back, sat down, was so ravenous again, I put it in my mouth. The fork was burning hot. I'm pretty sure I'll have like fork spaced lines on my lips very soon. I put one of them back on and intentionally blackened it because it's even more delicious, though potentially carcinogenic. All I've got on here is Tex-Mex. I cook it in a bit of canola oil because it's cheap and has a high enough smoke point, but I love giving a bit of char. The eggs actually came out really nicely. I'm never really sure what to do with them, and the other times I've eaten them, they haven't been this good, but really good. Much fishier, but really delicious. Wow. First time I ate them, it was like eating a snake. One thing is, it's really easy to drop an egg or two when cooking and eating, and that was not good for bears. If I make a mess of them, if they're all over the place, there's another one I almost missed. Because I'm already cooking this, and that smell is going to be wafting far afield. Well, this camp needs a tour because it is one of my favorites of all time. Good water access, good swimming, it's warm. It's shallow here. I'd prefer drop off. It's probably the only negative I could come up with for this site, but it's still good. You walk up maybe 15 feet, which is nice, puts you in a nice elevated position. with a view of the lake. Excellent trout fishing at your door. I haven't even walked down that way yet, but it's nice to have some sprawl space. And then here's the main camp. First of all, a couple of towering pines there, another one here, all around really. And that's so nice. The wind is rushing through the needles up there and it's making this beautiful sound, which in a couple of minutes when I lie down in the hammock will probably put me off to sleep in a second. Good spot here for all the cooking and drying dishes. Got firewood for dinner. Nice sitting rock by the fire, perfect distance and height. And then if you've got company, 3 stools here, which someone brilliantly left on the rocks to prevent them from rotting as quickly. And it's nice to have these. This is a perfect diameter for a stool because it's easy to move, and yeah, you can move them around. People always like to move them. Filtering water, temporary food bag hang there. Lots more firewood. All the ground is covered in pine needles, which is nice. Perfect spot for a tent. Really nice. And then another perfect spot for a hammock, right back in here in these cedars. And then that's a good bear hang spot as well. I've got my rope on there, just polycord. Could be a little higher, but it's easy, it's convenient, and that'll be out of reach from a bear. And yeah, it's just the right amount of clear. So yeah, one of my favorite campsites of all time, and I've stayed at quite a few. Couldn't get any better right now. I just feel so at peace, so at home. This is my home. Backcountry is it's like my church sometimes. I just feel so spiritually fulfilled in moments like these and so many other moments. It's a grocery store as well when I'm taking fish or blueberries. It's a school when it's teaching me life lessons, hard lessons sometimes. It's a gym. Not a great gym. Not the kind that you walk out of with muscles as big as, you know, people's legs. With arms as big as people's legs, but still keeps you reasonably fit. It's like a spa on other days. If you're just lying in the sun, maybe on the beach or in a hammock. It's a lot of things, the backcountry. Yeah, it's just awesome. It's the best. It's home. Alright, supper time. Shrimp ramen and the leftover fish and roe. If you like seafood, that is good. Out on the water just to see if this little lake can muster up a big fish, because that's all I want right now. Certainly not another eater. I am so full. Couldn't eat any more fish right now. Had to make some tea. It's the first time I've ever brought tea out in the canoe. Some mint tea to soothe my stomach. Who needs a hospital in the backcountry? I can sort out my own tummy aches. I may need treatment for sleep deprivation though soon. My eyes are doing things. I've nicknamed them Droopy and Twitchy. Because that's what they're doing. Oh, I think I just got bumped. There are nice cliffs here on the east end of Long Lake. Just one more reason why it's beautiful. That's my camp right there. And I love that you can't even tell it's a camp. And then the lake stretches out that way into a few arms divided by a couple of narrows. Really a perfect lake for the canoe. Some fish took it. There's some weight to it. Just free spooling those runs now, which is a really bad idea because I just lost it. Should have relied on my drag. Tried to get smart. It was working like a charm too. There were some short bites and took it there. Hook's sticky sharp too, it's brand new. I would have liked to get a look at that fish. But it wasn't a giant, I'm sure of that. Back on big trout and got a nice trout here. Beautiful, beautiful colors. Oh. Hold on, buddy. Oh no, sorry. There. There you go. Thanks, buddy. I can't record hardly anything today because my batteries are all really low. Yeah, got that one on the spoon with the 3-way swivel rig with 2 ounces of weight down there. It's been killing it this trip. Different fish, same story. Thanks, buddy. I actually completely forgot that I was going to be able to drift down the River aux Sables today. Scraping my way down. Okay. Well, either way, it beats upstream travel. I was scraping on the way up too. I leave my right leg over the edge sometimes when I'm in these scenarios where you go from wading to paddling in shallow current. Because then you can hop out easily, you're bringing less water in and out of the boat all the time. And then sometimes I kind of like skateboard, I'll like push with this foot. And when there's just enough water to get over, but not enough to paddle. Had a nice trip down the River aux Sables, and it's been a pretty nice day overall. It's getting long. It was such a fantastic trip. I love this spot, and it's definitely one of my favorite routes already, instantly. Big trout, long lake, those are absolute gems. So and I'll be back here, just maybe 10 minutes away from the launch, and looking forward to 5 nights in civilization.